Hallelujah. Leo naenda ku outline verses in the Bible that talks about peace, 30 verses about peace. And for you who is the first to see this channel, this is my YouTube channel, please subscribe and click the bell and God bless you. Okay? Now I'm going to start reading these chapters one by one. And if you have a pen, you can write them so that for reference you can read at your own time. Hallelujah. For the first chapters comes the book of John chapter 16 verse 33. John 16:33. Next is Proverbs chapter 16 verse 7. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 7. Then 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 11. 2 Corinthians 13 verse 11. Then Numbers chapter 6 verse 24 to 26. Numbers chapter 6 verse 24 to 26. Then Numbers chapter 6 verse 26. Numbers chapter 6 verse 26. Then you have Matthew chapter 5 verse 9. Matthew chapter 5 verse 9. Then we have Psalms chapter 29 verse 11. Psalms chapter 29 verse 11. Then we have John chapter 14 verse 26. John chapter 14 verse 26. Then second Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 16. Second Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 16. Then we have Isaiah 26 verse 3. Isaiah 26 verse 3. Then we have Psalms chapter 4 verse 18. Psalms chapter 4 verse 18. Then we have 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 11. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 11. Then we have Proverbs chapter 12 verse 20. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 20. Then we have Romans chapter 14 verse 19. Romans chapter 14 verse 19. Romans chapter 14 verse 19. Then we have Philippians chapter 4 verse 7. Philippians chapter 4 verse 7. Then we have Psalms chapter 72 verse 7. Psalms chapter 72 verse 7. Then we have Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 to 7. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 to 7. Then we have Psalms 85 8. Psalms chapter 85 verse 8. Then we have James chapter 3 verse 18. James chapter 3 verse 18. Then we have Psalms 32 verse 7. Psalms chapter 32 verse 7. Then we have Colossians chapter 3 verse 15. Colossians chapter 3 verse 15. Then we have Daniel chapter 10 verse 19. Daniel chapter 10 verse 19. Then we have Hebrews 12:14. Hebrews 12:14. Then we have Philippians chapter 4 verse 6. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6. Then we have Isaiah 32:17. Isaiah chapter 32 verse 17. Then we have Ephesians chapter 6 verse 23. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 23. Then we have Psalms 111 verse 165. Psalms 119 verse 165. Then we have Romans chapter 15 verse 13. Romans chapter 15 verse 13. Then we have Romans 12:18. We also have Leviticus 26:8. God bless you.